Welcome back, Warner fam. Today I'll recap a horror action film, The Last House on the Left, so keep your eyes wide open and stay safe. The movie starts deep in a dark forest at night. Police officers are transporting a dangerous criminal named John Krug to prison. Krug asks them to stop so he can use the bathroom, but they say no. The car stops at a railroad crossing, and while a train passes, a truck suddenly crashes into their car. Two masked people jump out, Krug's younger brother Francis and his girlfriend Sadie. Sadie shoots the injured officer Giles in the head after he tries to fight back. Then she frees Krug and gives him a kiss. Krug asks Francis about his son, and he tells him he's fine. Morton, another officer, is still barely alive. Krug strangles him with his seatbelt, wondering what he's thinking about as he dies. Francis steals cash from Morton's wallet, but some blood spills onto it. Krug looks at a picture of Morton's daughters and says he's thinking about what he'll never see again. Krug finishes off Morton. Elsewhere, 17-year-old Mari Collingwood is swimming in a pool while her mother, Emma, watches closely. After finishing her swim, Mari asks her mom what her time was. Emma tells her that it doesn't matter and suggests they start their vacation. They pick up Mari's dad, Dr. John Collingwood, from the hospital after his surgery, and they all drive to the forest to their summer house. On the way, Mari is driving when she comes to a fork in the road. She sees a sign that says, "Road ends in the lake," and laughs, calling the sign ridiculous. They finally arrive at the house and everyone begins unpacking. Mari decides to stay in the guest house, which is a short walk from the main house. It's clear that Mari's family is still grieving the loss of her older brother Ben, who passed away last year. Mari heads to the boathouse, where she takes a quick swim in the lake. Afterward, she dresses and puts on a necklace that Ben gave her. Meanwhile, Emma and John find a bottle of wine left for them by Emma's brother, who recently stayed in the house. As John tries to fix a broken microwave, Mari asks if she can borrow the car to visit her friend Paige in town. Emma hopes they can enjoy a family meal together, but John hands Mari the car keys and some cash, telling her to have fun. The only thing Emma asks is that Mari calls her once she gets to town. With Mari gone, John and Emma plan to enjoy a quiet, romantic dinner together. Mari spends the day hanging out with her friend Paige at the general store, where Paige works. While they catch up and talk about their plans to get high, a teenager named Justin walks in. He grabs a bunch of junk food and asks to buy cigarettes. Paige asks to see his ID, but Justin offers a deal. If she lets him buy the cigarettes, he'll give her some high-quality weed from his motel room. Paige agrees to the deal. When Justin sees that some of the cash he's using has blood on it, he gets nervous, but he quickly finds clean bills to pay with. Justin and Paige head to the motel, telling Mari they'll be back in a few minutes. While waiting in the car, Mari notices her phone has no signal. Then, a maid surprises her and asks if she dropped her room key. Tired of waiting, Mari decides to enter the motel room and finds Justin and Paige already smoking a joint. She's a bit annoyed they didn't invite her, but she joins in and smokes with them. Just then, Mari's mom, Emma, calls to check on her. Emma is worried because Mari didn't call when she got to town. Mari tells her everything is fine, but as the call starts to break up, Emma warns her that a storm is coming. Mari says she'll spend the night at Paige's house and hangs up. While they're getting high, Paige starts dancing on the bed, having fun. Mari asks Justin about his family, and he says they have to keep moving because of his dad and uncle. He also says his mom is dead. Mari shares that her brother is dead too. The conversation gets a bit heavy, so Paige quickly changes the topic to something more fun. She says that Justin could be cute if he didn't have such a creepy look. To cheer things up, Paige suggests they give Justin a makeover. She has him wear his uncle's shirt while she and Mari work on making him look different. Suddenly, Krug, Francis, and Sadie show up at the motel. Sadie quickly takes off her shirt and walks around topless, looking for a bra and a clean shirt to put on. Francis notices Justin is wearing his shirt but doesn't say anything, letting him keep it on. When Krug sees the two girls, he gets angry with Justin, saying he wasn't supposed to bring anyone to the motel room. Justin tries to explain that he didn't know they'd be back so soon and thought he could get rid of the weed. Krug tells Justin to stop being selfish and punches him in the stomach. He then throws a newspaper at Justin, showing that his escape is all over the news, with pictures of Krug and Sadie from the camera inside the cop car. Krug looks at the girls and wonders what to do with them. Mari and Paige promise they won't tell anyone, but Francis grabs Paige from behind and pulls out a knife. In a panic, Mari gives Sadie the keys to her car, hoping they won't hurt them. Krug apologizes but says he can't risk letting them leave. Paige manages to break free from Francis and runs to the bathroom. She tries to use her phone but there's no signal. She goes to the window and sees a police car in the parking lot. She waves to get their attention but they don't see her. Francis smashes through the door, throws Paige out of the window, and her head hits the sink hard. He then destroys both Paige's phone and Mari's phone. Krug forces Justin to look at Mari and tells him that he's the one responsible for everything that's happening. The gang drives off in Mari's car, with Francis holding onto Paige, Sadie holding onto Mari, and Krug driving with Justin in the front seat. As they drive, they pass a police car, and the girls try to get their attention, but they're both held down. They soon end up in the forest and approach a fork in the road. Krug asks Francis to look at the map to find the main highway. Mari tells them it's on the left, so Krug turns that way. Krug and Sadie start complimenting Mari on how calm and polite she is, but Mari notices that the car's cigarette lighter is right in front of her. While staying calm, she pushes it in with her foot. After a while, she sees that they've passed the road to her house. When the lighter is ready, Mari grabs it and burns Sadie's forehead, leaving a small burn mark. Paige continues to fight Francis while Krug tries to calm everyone down. Mari quickly opens the door and tries to jump out, but Sadie holds her down. Krug loses control of the car, and they crash into a couple of trees. Paige, hurt from the crash, gets out and tries to free Mari, but Krug knocks her to the ground. Francis, angry from the crash, discovers his nose is broken and takes his anger out on the girls, kicking them around. Sadie, upset that she's going to be scarred for life, beats up Mari. Mari tries to get Justin to help, but he just watches, too scared to do anything. Mari and Paige try to escape into the forest, but Krug catches Mari before she can get far. He orders Sadie and Francis to go after Paige and bring her back. Paige runs through the forest trying to get away from the gang. She hides for a while, but eventually she finds a construction site and screams for help. Unfortunately, the loud machines make it impossible for anyone to hear her. She gets closer, hoping to get someone's attention, but is suddenly tackled by Sadie. Paige manages to kick Sadie off and tries to run again, but Francis clotheslines her, knocking her down. He pulls out a gun, ready to end it right there, but Sadie stops him, saying that Krug wanted Paige brought back alive. Sadie tears off Paige's shirt and ties her hands with it. They start walking back to Krug, Justin, and Mari. Back with Krug, he tells Justin it's time to become a man and asks which girl he wants. Justin refuses, so Krug grabs him and forces him to touch Mari. Paige calls Krug pathetic, which catches him off guard. He walks over to Paige, lifts her up, and stabs her. Francis grabs her from behind and stabs her too. Krug then stabs Paige again. He lets Mari hold her as she struggles to breathe. Krug demands that Mari lie to Paige and tell her everything will be okay. Mari refuses, and Krug throws her to the ground. Sadie rips off Mari's shorts and helps hold her down. Krug then pulls off Mari's clothes. Mari screams in pain as she looks at Paige. Realizing she's dead, she begs Justin to help, but he does nothing. As this happens, Krug rips off Mari's necklace and throws it to Justin, who pockets it without a word. After Krug finishes, Mari gets up, trying to pull herself together. She puts her panties back on, feeling completely humiliated. For a brief moment, even the others seem a little sorry for what they've done. Krug tells Justin that he really missed out on Mari, but Mari, feeling desperate, says she needs to swim. She picks up a rock and throws it at Krug, hitting him in the head. She then runs as fast as she can. Krug, angry, tries to shoot her, but misses. Mari reaches the lake and dives in, swimming away as quickly as she can. Krug keeps shooting at her, but every shot misses. Finally, one of his shots hits Mari in the back. She stops and sinks beneath the water, unable to keep going. As a storm starts to roll in, the gang prepares to leave. Krug forces Justin to walk with them, making sure he doesn't try to run away. As they walk through the woods, the group of four ends up on the road that leads to the Collingwood house. Meanwhile, Emma and John are finishing dinner when they suddenly hear banging at the front door. When they open it, they find Krug, Justin, Francis, and Sadie soaked from the rain. Krug tells them that their car broke down and asks if they can help. Emma and John invite them inside. John helps Francis by snapping his nose back into place. Emma makes coffee for everyone and hot chocolate for Justin. Krug mentions that even though their car is broken, they're lucky to have found the house. He asks if they can get a ride to town, but John says that their daughter has the car. Krug then asks to use their phone to call a tow truck or a taxi, but John doubts anyone will come because of the storm. While John stitches up Francis's nose, the storm causes the power to go out. John steps outside to start the backup generator, leaving Emma alone with the strangers. She asks them what they're doing out here since she's never seen them before. Francis pulls out his knife, looking ready to attack, but Krug steps in and says that their father used to bring them to the lake to fish. He explains that he was hoping to spend some time with his son, Justin, who stays quiet through the whole conversation. Francis puts the knife away as John gets the generator working again. John goes back inside and finishes stitching up Francis's nose. While this happens, Francis starts to feel attracted to Emma. They all head into the living room, where John starts a fire to warm them up. Justin asks if he can use the bathroom, and Emma tells him where it is. Justin walks into the kitchen to put his cup away and is shocked to see a picture of Mari on the refrigerator. Emma walks in and tells him that Mari is their daughter. Suddenly, Justin collapses to the floor. He says he feels sick and rushes to the bathroom. He locks the door behind him and pulls out Mari's necklace, holding it tightly. Outside the bathroom, Krug knocks on the door, saying that Emma is worried about him. He tells Justin to get himself together and act normal in front of the Collingwoods. Meanwhile, we see Marie, badly injured, slowly making her way to the boathouse and crawling out of the lake. John invites the group to stay for the night, offering them the guest house out back. He tells them it's no problem and they can rest there until the storm clears. Justin goes back to the kitchen, quietly picking up Mari's necklace and placing it around his cup. Krug tells him to hurry up, reminding him that Emma will be showing them the guest house soon. Once they're outside, Emma leads them to the guest house. She lights a bunch of candles since the guest house has no electricity. She tells them that if they need anything, they can just come back to the main house. Krug thanks her for being so kind and welcoming. Emma goes back to the house, unaware that Mari is crawling nearby, injured and struggling to move. Back inside the house, Emma feels something is off about their guests, but John brushes it off, thinking she's just worried. Suddenly, they hear loud banging coming from the porch. John and Emma step outside to check, and they discover that the noise is coming from a rocking chair. To their surprise, they find Mari sitting there, weak and covered in dirt. They can't believe she's still alive. John sees that Mari's been shot, and without wasting any time, he carefully picks her up and carries her into the living room. He heats a knife in the fireplace to cauterize the wound and stop the bleeding. He asks Emma to grab alcohol and towels from the kitchen. While in the kitchen, Emma spots Mari's necklace wrapped around Justin's cup and realizes who their guests really are. Back in the living room, Mari is struggling to breathe. John quickly turns her on her side, cuts open her back and puts a tube in the wound to help her breathe. When he notices blood on her inner thigh, he understands that something terrible has happened to her. Emma is heartbroken and tells John that their guests are the ones who did this. She remembers seeing Mari wearing the necklace earlier, and now she knows it was Justin who left it around his cup. John's anger grows as he realizes the awful truth. Emma asks what they should do next. The nearest house is far away, they don't have a car, and the gang is still out there. John tells her they have to be ready for anything. Since Mari needs a hospital, they plan to use their boat to get there. In the guest house, Sadie is taking a shower while Krug gets ready for bed. He notices Justin sleeping on the couch in the other room, but Justin isn't really asleep. He's pretending. He quietly watches Krug and starts looking at Krug's gun. Sadie comes into the bedroom wearing nothing but her towel and gets into bed with Krug. As they both fall asleep, Francis is dozing off in a chair nearby. Taking advantage of the quiet, Justin sneaks into the room and quietly grabs Krug's gun. John goes to the boathouse to get the boat ready, but when he checks, he realizes the keys are missing. As he looks around, he notices some tools nearby. He picks up a hammer, deciding it might be useful to defend himself and protect his family from the guests. Inside the house, Emma is in the kitchen, looking at some knives. Suddenly, Francis appears. He says the loud lightning outside woke him up and asks for a drink. To distract him and keep him from noticing a picture of Mari on the fridge, Emma starts flirting with him. She tells him that John is passed out upstairs, then offers Francis some wine and says she'll get glasses. Francis goes into the living room to wait. As he walks by, he notices Mari curled up in front of the fireplace. He recognizes her and starts to panic. Before he can react, Emma quickly smashes a wine bottle over his head. Furious, Francis charges at her, but she fights back, stabbing him in the chest with a butcher's knife. He hits her a few times before rushing to the window in the dining room, trying to warn the others in the guest house, but the storm is too loud, and they can't hear him. Just then, John arrives and starts beating Francis with the hammer. During the struggle, they end up in the kitchen, where Emma and John push Francis's head into the sink, trying to drown him. In the chaos, his hand gets caught in the garbage disposal. John turns it on, slicing Francis's hand in the process. Francis screams in pain, still trying to escape, but John finishes him off by stabbing him in the head with the hammer's claw, killing him. John and Emma quietly sneak into the guest house, each holding a weapon, John with a butcher knife and Emma with a fire poker. They move carefully toward the bedroom and spot Krug and Sadie lying in bed, but then they see Justin sitting nearby. Justin points a pistol at them, but surprisingly offers it to John. Slowly and silently, John crosses the room and takes the gun from Justin. Just as John cocks the pistol, Sadie wakes up. Startled, John fires, and the bullet grazes her neck, but it also wakes up Krug. Sadie immediately jumps on John, trying to grab the gun. At the same time, Krug throws the bed at Emma, knocking her off balance. John manages to throw Sadie into the bathroom and tries to shoot Krug, but Krug jumps out of the window and rushes toward the house. While this happens, Sadie grabs a shower pole and uses it to beat John, knocking the gun out of his hands. Justin tries to help John, but Sadie knocks him out cold. Seeing her chance, Emma grabs the pistol and shoots Sadie right in the eye, killing her instantly. Krug finally makes it to the house, confused about why the Collingwoods are attacking them. When he steps into the living room, he sees blood on the table, and his anger grows. He walks into the kitchen and finds Francis's lifeless body. Krug's fury builds up, and he storms out of the house, more determined than ever. Meanwhile, the Collingwoods have already put Mari in the boat to keep her safe. Emma stays with her while John heads to the house, holding a fire poker, planning to take down Krug. When John enters the living room, he notices his wallet placed neatly on the table in front of the fireplace. Krug must have found it and seen the family photo inside, realizing that Mari is their daughter. Upstairs, Krug calls out to John, daring him to come up and face him. He rolls something on the floor to distract John and keeps moving around, trying to confuse him. Looking outside, Krug realizes the Collingwoods are planning to escape by boat. He opens a window and makes a loud noise, hoping to trick John into thinking he's left through it. John rushes upstairs, thinking Krug has escaped. He yells out to Emma, but suddenly Krug jumps out from the shadows and ambushes him. They fight fiercely, crashing into furniture and struggling for control. Krug kicks John through the railing on the stairs, sending him tumbling to the floor below. Standing over him, Krug mocks John, asking if he wants to know how tight his daughter was. John, full of anger, tells Krug he wants to hear him beg for his life, then breaks a table over Krug's back. The fight continues, but Krug gains the upper hand and starts choking John with the fire poker until he passes out. Just as Krug is about to stab John, he hears the sound of a gun cocking behind him. Krug turns around, shocked to see Justin holding the gun, aiming it at him. Krug laughs, telling Justin he picked a hell of a time to man up. He asks for the gun, but when Justin pulls the trigger, the gun is empty. Furious, Krug stabs Justin in the stomach with the fire poker. Just then, Emma returns with a fire extinguisher. She smashes it into Krug's face and sprays him with the hose, knocking him back. John picks up the fire poker and hits Krug with it, weakening him. Emma finishes it off by bashing Krug's head with the fire extinguisher, knocking him out cold. The storm clears outside and the Collingwoods with Mari and Justin climb into the boat. They start the engine and head down the lake, finally escaping the nightmare. Sometime later, Krug wakes up to find himself tied up and unable to move. He looks up and sees John standing over him. Krug says he can't move at all, and John explains that he didn't have any rope or tape to tie him up, so he made cuts all over Krug's body to paralyze him from the neck down. Helpless and scared, Krug asks John what he's going to do to him. Without saying a word, John grabs Krug's head and places it in the broken microwave. He turns it on, and the microwave starts to hum. The film ends with a loud, shocking sound as Krug's head explodes in the microwave, marking the end of his terror. So which awesome movie should we recap next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and let's make it happen. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you never miss out on our movie recaps. We've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Produced by Warner Movie Recaps.